Well, we could really use some good news, and thankfully we have one with the NFL providing an update on the stance of the brotherly shove. On the flip side, there might be a reason to dislike Sean Desai's defense even more. Although, what did he say about playing the rookies more? And could that be a good thing? Plus, Anthony DiBona from Outside DiBirds joins to weigh in on Sidney Brown getting more snaps, and Slay's throwing shade at the secondary. But first, let's run it. What's up, guys? Alright, so with Christmas right around the corner, the Eagles are spreading some holiday spirit and will be giving away an autographed copy of the Philly Special Christmas album to anyone who retweets the Eagles post. So go ahead and get to it like me if you can't get enough Christmas music. By the way, I've got a link in the description to the tweet in case you're interested. And the Birds are also busy filing for the new trademark Tush Push with plans to offer a Tush Push brand of clothing. While I personally prefer the brotherly shove title, it's really the ramifications of this that I enjoy the most. Because clearly Philly's taking and running with the NFL's most recent comments on the league's most unstoppable play. After speculation that the play would be banned this offseason, Roger Goodell came right out and dispelled the notion, saying, "I haven't taken a position on that one. Last year, the committee had a lot of different views on that. The membership did. I want to hear that again this year. I want to hear how people feel about it." Well, you know how we feel about it, but it seems like the majority is kind of getting behind this thing now, with former Eagles legend and now NFL Executive Vice President of Football Operations Troy Vincent seemingly voicing his support for the brotherly shove, when he said Philly does it better than everyone else. That's a fact. You won't want to punish anyone for doing something well. People have tried different things to stop it and have not had success. Now, is there a little bit of a conflict of interest with Vincent being a member of the Eagles Hall of Fame? I don't know, maybe, but I don't have a problem with it. And at least it's not going to change for now. However, although there may not be change there, we all know there's got to be a lot of change on defense. And perhaps there's a chance with Avonte Maddox getting in a workout today with trainers while showing significant improvement. Remember, Sirianni already suggested there's a chance Maddox could make it back in time for a portion of the playoffs if all goes well, and considering the fact that Avonte's moving around, I'm not going to lie that it gets me hopeful.
We need help. A professional.
Yes, we'll take all the help we can get right now. However, while we're talking about the here and now, it's no secret what's got to get fixed.
We've been inopportune. We have not been able to get off the field when we need to get off the field. You know, and third down and situational football, we got to be better. Third down, red zone. And those have been our bugaboos. And I ain't gonna lie to you guys. That's been kind of our Achilles heel right now.
Okay, honestly, I'm really sick of talking about it at this point. And sure, the players haven't played well, but after going over the film further, I'm with Shane Half, who's about done with Desai. Okay, maybe I'm not that far, but heck, we all saw it versus Dallas and in countless other games, but Desai's not disguising cover zero and blitzes well enough, as well as calling plays that aren't helping Jalen Carter in any way on the defensive line. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all know that the D-line and the secondary are a marriage, and one that's certainly not going well because it's understandable that All-Pro Kevin Byard was critical of the Eagles' play caller. Of course, yes, like I've talked about on multiple occasions, Byard hasn't played well either, and certainly deserves some of the blame, but after Desai held a meeting to ask players for input, Byard's feeling much better about moving forward.
I think our communication actually has been really good. I think we just had to button up just on little small details, little execution deals and things like that, and I think we'll be, in pretty good shape. But like I said, it's, as a defense, we just got to make sure we're always playing together. You don't want it to be, 10 guys doing their job and then one guy not doing their job, and that's, maybe a big play or something like that. So once we continue to play as all 11 players one accord, and kind of play balls to the wall in a way, just making sure that we're swarming to the ball and playing with energy and swagger, we'll definitely see these numbers increase for sure.
Okay, that's great and all, but forgive me if I've got to see it to believe it. And not gonna lie, but sometimes I miss CJ Gardner-Johnson at times. Like, I genuinely didn't think it was that big of a deal letting him walk, but I have no problem admitting I was wrong. After all, CJ had 6 interceptions last season by himself, and we only have 6 as a team this entire season. At the same time, I realize it's never one player, and like I referenced a second ago, the pass rush and the schedule isn't the same, so yeah, that definitely plays a factor. Yet something's got to give in this final stretch ahead of the playoffs, but the question is, what is that? Well, according to Desai, that just might be playing the rooks more.
Those guys have done a good job through practice and earning some of those spots, and I think as we talk about it every week in terms of our rotations and our plans, those guys are certainly in that conversation to help us as we move forward. I think you see some quickness and speed for both of them, some twitch at the point of attack, and the ability for Kelee to get out there and challenge and do some things there, which was nice. You try to use his length to his advantage. So, and then Nolan's obviously been physical at the point of attack, and you see his athleticism as well. So I think those guys are growing, they're learning the defense, and they keep getting better, and the coaches are doing a good job developing them.
So here's the thing. You guys know that I love Nolan Smith, and I think that he can play somewhat of a factor, but honestly, his time is really next year. The good news, though, is that number 3's learning, saying as far as the scheme and knowing NFL football and always studying and learning different things, I feel like I've come so far just because I feel better and I feel like I know more. But it's not just that, it's that I know what I'm looking for too. All right, that's great that he's showing progression, and hopefully Desai will take a page out of that book as well and stop dropping Nolan back into coverage 22% of the time that he's on the field. Like, it shouldn't be a secret that that's not the Rook's forte. Although if you want to do that with Kelee Ringo, that's fine. Because personally, I think Ringo's got a lot of potential. Yes, he had a few mistakes and one that was definitely costly in the Dallas game, but he's also showed flashes. Of course, maybe don't continue to watch James Bradberry on tape. By the way, if you don't get that reference, Ringo said he watches a lot of tape of JB because he really simplifies the game for him and trying to take what he can from the vet.
That's bad. Yeah.
Okay, I can appreciate showing the respect to your elders bit, yet Slay would probably argue Ringo needs to watch more of him.
I think I done had a very, very solid game, man. I think I had like 2 or 3 PBUs, making plays, no catches, no nothing. Come on now. Out of all days, you want to put the trash can out there when I had a damn near a perfect game. You know what I'm saying? I could have did a lot of stuff better, but maybe could have picked the ball, could have made some other plays, but overall, the game was great by me, you know what I'm saying? But as a team, we play worth the
Okay, I have no clue. I mean, that is a terrible look. Sure, I get that Slay's been the most consistent player in the secondary, plus his wife Jennifer was getting absolutely attacked on Twitter, which is just stupid for anyone going after the families of players. However, it doesn't give me any sort of captain vibes from the 32-year-old. But go ahead and let me know whether you agree or disagree. Either way, all that finger pointing and not taking ownership is not going to get us anywhere. Although Anthony DiBona of Outside DiBirds came back on to share just how rookie Sydney Brown might make the difference. Let's talk about Sydney Brown, because I saw tweets that you had during the game, after the game, you watched the all-22 takeaways there. I love Sydney Brown. You love Sydney Brown. Lots of people do on the show, but is there a reason why Sydney Brown should play more? And what did you see just kind of overall takeaways, certainly the game against Dallas?
Well, I've been begging for Sydney Brown for weeks. I mean, I was a huge fan of him pre-draft, had a first-round grade on him, which might have been a little too high, but I've been preaching for a while that he needs to see be on the defense more. I thought him playing at just 7 snaps or whatever it was against the 49ers was crazy. The biggest thing to me is with this defense in general right now is they lack physicality. They seem kind of soft to me, and they just don't have that playmaking element. And I feel like Sydney Brown kind of checks all of those boxes. Sure, he's a smaller guy. He's not going to blow anybody away with his size, but you saw it in the game. He flew across the field to get a pass break up here. He stuffed the run real well. So it's just like, I feel like there's a way to get all three. I mean, you don't have to take Blankenship or Kevin Byard off the field to get him on there. I feel like you could just have him either as a nickel or in a dime package, especially, is where I think he would be well, but kind of have him play like that linebacker safety hybrid role. He showed me everything that I kind of expected at this point, because he made plays in the passing game and the running game. He wasn't used in certain spots like he should have, which I'm sure we'll get to with Kevin Byard and whatnot, but I just think he showed a lot of promise. He only gave up one big completion, and that was to Jake Ferguson, where it was basically a perfectly thrown ball by Dak Prescott. But besides that, I think he did well, and I think he has to have a role moving forward.
All right, I agree with Anthony. It does look like we're missing that physicality, and I'm not opposed to getting Sydney out there to start flying around, provide some athleticism, and just be a playmaker. I mean, Brown is a Red Star player after all. Okay, in case you're not exactly sure what that is, GM Howie Roseman has a grading system for some players in the draft in that category, with them having great character, being a captain, excellent testing numbers, intelligence, and plays in practice the way the game should be played. And just for further reference, former Red Star players, according to Howie, are Devonta Smith as well as Landon Dickerson, so that's obviously good company. So I don't know, we'll see what we get on Monday. However, the 23-year-old hinted at the possibility of getting more chances.
It's exciting moments like this where you can really see change in the team, and I think that's where we're headed this week.
All right, you guys know me. I say let's see it, but what say you? It's also time for the Week 15 picks, where we went 2-1 last week, but I keep missing the elusive 3-0 sweep. But let's get it this week with Buffalo -2 at home versus Dallas. I'll also grab Atlanta laying 3 on the road in Carolina. And finally, yeah, you already knew this, I can't quit the Birds. Give me the -3 in Seattle. But let me know what you guys are rolling with. And a quick update on the Philly injury report too, that Darius Slay, Cam Jurgens, and Zach Cunningham weren't at practice again. So we'll continue to monitor given the extra day, but not exactly the best sign. Reminder that we'll be live streaming the game on Monday night with play-by-play, reactions, and a watch party where I'll be giving away 2 tickets to the Eagles game versus New York at the end of the third quarter. Okay, let's hear those score predictions. I'm going to go with Birds 31-27 27. This has been the Philly Special.